Tonight on the Happy Place Homestead, we'd like to have your input on what to do with a wood-burning stove, furnace thingy that's in our basement. Chris Badger here with the Happy Place Homestead. Thanks so much for tuning in and subscribing to our channel. Today we have a very interesting situation. When we first moved to our homestead, we had a huge, gigantic wood-burning furnace in there. We tried it. It didn't really work out so well for us. We got it going. It wasn't blowing hot air, and in fact, we'd gotten some advice from some people, and they said that this model was not necessarily very efficient, and so we spent some money and put some blood, sweat, and tears into getting the wood stove upstairs going. But tonight, we talked to a gentleman who's a local in the area, and he said that the furnace that we have should be more than efficient, more than effective. So probably the problem was that we hadn't gotten it going, because these need to burn exceptionally hot, and that's how they run best. And so we got this sucker going, and the problem first we had was that the whole basement was clouded in smoke, and partly we're not sure why. Is there a problem with the flow of air? One thing we noticed, here's our damper. It is open, so we know that's working. And this right down here has about 5 circular intakes valves that this flap would cover. So now that we have it tied open, it seems to be generating a pretty good flow. But you're going to see when we open this, smoke starts coming up, and then especially in the beginning, it's a lot of smoke. So we got this sucker going pretty good. Outside the chimney shows a lot of smoke still, but not as much coming out. Now we notice on our wood-burning stove that even upstairs it takes for a while for it, maybe 20-30 minutes, to really get it so hot that when you go outside, the smokestack's not putting out tons of black smoke. It's just heat, and that's kind of the goal, to get it hot enough where it's not having tons of big smoke issues. So I guess we're wondering if you can tell by looking at this if maybe there's a couple things that we're not doing right. One, should we always have this flapper open, or should that be shut after it gets hot enough? 2, do we need to have a window open inside here for the basement to create the kind of the intake flow of cold air? The problem with that is in the winter it gets really cold. Now here's the thing, is that tonight it's hotter in our house than it's been all winter long, because this sucker is really starting to go now. Looks like outside the air is, or the chimney smoke is not very smoky. It's a little bit more hot from last appearances, and the blower is working effectively, so it's kind of remaining on. So you touch the grate upstairs, and it seems like warmer air is coming out. So any of you who have experience with this, we'd love to hear from you. We're kind of new at figuring out how to work this to make it work efficiently. Do we need to have it scraped out or chimney sweeped once a year? Once every couple years? And what we have noticed is that people don't really like to come out and do that. So is that the kind of thing we can do on our own? So your thoughts, your tips, your advice is appreciated. Some of you, this is old hat, you know what you're doing. And so we'll take your thoughts. One other thing we noticed is that the wood that's been sitting in our basement here for the last 7 months is finally probably to the point where it's most dry and is burning exceptionally hot. So I think that was our benefit as well. When we first did it, it was not burning very warm, and it's probable that the wood that we had was still too fresh. So we're learning, and we'd love to hear from you. Thanks. It is so hot in our house. It just literally now, for the first time, shut off. It's been blowing heat into our house like we're in Southwest Florida. Look at how much wood is left. There's hardly anything left to burn. It literally is so hot in our house. The children have been coming down all night complaining that it's hot. Our solution is take off all your pajamas. We have got to figure this out.